Imagine if you're walking by, and see an injured charming man crying for help. Will you be helping him by taking him in his car or going with him? In the case of victims of Ted Bundy, they did help him. Hello and welcome to Crime Time Reports, where we present true crime stories, solved, unsolved and mysterious cases. And today we are going to discuss the charming serial killer, Ted Bundy. Burlington, Vermont. Burlington is a city in the northern part of the U.S. state of Vermont. It is the largest city in the state. Burlington is located on the eastern shore of Lake Champlain, which borders Vermont to the west and New York to the east. Burlington is known for its vibrant arts and cultural scene, as well as its picturesque downtown area, which features historic architecture, boutique shops, and a variety of restaurants and cafes. The city is also home to the University of Vermont, which is located on a hill overlooking the downtown area. Burlington is also home to several annual events and festivals, including the Burlington Discover Jazz Festival, the Vermont Brewers Festival, and the Burlington Farmers Market, making Burlington a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts year-round. Suspicious patterns. From January to June of 1974, a pattern emerged in which one female college student disappeared each month. On March 12, Donna Gail Manson, a 19-year-old student at the Evergreen State College, left her dormitory to attend a jazz concert on campus but never arrived. Susan Elaine Rancourt disappeared on April 17 while on her way to her dorm room after an evening advisors meeting at Central Washington State College. Two other female Central Washington students later came forward to report encounters with a man wearing a sling who asked for help carrying books to his brown or tan Volkswagen Beetle. On May 6, Roberta Kathleen Parks left her dormitory at Oregon State University to have coffee with friends at the Memorial Union but never arrived. The disappearances of these young, attractive, white college students with long hair parted in the middle raised concern for investigators from Seattle and King County. There was no significant physical evidence linking the cases. Then, on June 1, Brenda Carol Ball disappeared after leaving a tavern in Berrien. Witnesses saw her talking to a brown-haired man with his arm in a sling. The fear and suspicion heightened on June 11 when Georgianne Hawkins, a University of Washington student, vanished while walking down a well-lit alleyway between her boyfriend's dormitory and her sorority house. Law enforcement agencies faced mounting pressure. In order to avoid compromising the investigation, the police refused to provide reporters with any information that was available. Moreover, investigators noted further similarities between the victims. The disappearances all occurred at night, mostly in the vicinity of ongoing construction work, and within a week of midterm or final exams. All of the victims were wearing slacks or blue jeans at the time of their disappearance, and sightings of a man wearing a cast or sling and driving a brown or tan Volkswagen Beetle were reported at many crime scenes. Throughout this time, Robert held a position as the assistant director of the Seattle Crime Prevention Advisory Commission in Olympia, where he authored a pamphlet on rape prevention for women. Subsequently, he secured a job at the Department of Emergency Services, a state government agency responsible for searching for the missing college students. It was at the DES where he met and commenced a relationship with Carol Ann Boone, a divorced mother of two. Early life. Theodore Robert was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont, to Eleanor Louise Cowell, who was unmarried at the time, and he was raised by his maternal grandparents in Philadelphia as their own son. Robert was led to believe that his mother was his older sister, and he did not learn the truth until he was a teenager. Robert was described as a well-behaved and intelligent child, but he showed signs of unusual behavior at a very young age, such as voyeurism and stealing. First suspect. On August 16, 1975, while patrolling the area during the pre-dawn hours, Hayward noticed Bundy driving around a residential area in his Volkswagen Beetle and speeding away at the sight of the patrol car. He then noticed that the front passenger seat of the Volkswagen was missing and searched the car. Inside, he found various items that were initially believed to be burglary tools, including a ski mask, a pantyhose mask, handcuffs, trash bags, a rope, and an ice pick. Robert claimed that the ski mask was for skiing, he had found the handcuffs in a dumpster, and the other items were just common household items. However, Detective Jerry Thompson remembered a suspect and car matching Robert's description from the November 1974 Daronch kidnapping, and Robert's name from Klerpfer's phone call a month later. A search of his apartment uncovered a guidebook to Colorado ski resorts with a checkmark by the Wildwood Inn, and a brochure advertising the Viewmont High School play in Bountiful, where Kent, another victim, had disappeared. Interrogation. Robert engaged in a series of interviews with Stephen Michaud and Hugh Ainsworth after being the most probable suspect. After more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 murders committed in 7 states between 1974 and 1978. His true victim total is unknown and likely significantly higher. In an effort to avoid confessing, he spoke mostly in the third person, revealing details of his crimes and thought processes for the first time. During these interviews, it was revealed that Theodore Robert Cowell had changed his surname from Cowell to Bundy when his mother married a man named Samuel Connect Cowell. Bundy confirmed Klerpfer's suspicion that he had shoplifted nearly everything he owned, and he expressed a particular enjoyment in possessing stolen items. Possession also drove his motive for rape and murder, as he explained that sexual assault allowed him to completely possess his victims. Initially, he killed his victims as a means of avoiding capture, but murder later became part of the adventure. Bundy stated that taking the life of his victims was the ultimate form of possession, followed by the physical possession of their remains. Execution. In 1986, an execution date of March 4 was set for Bundy's convictions related to the Chi Omega murders. Supreme Court issued a brief stay, but the execution was quickly rescheduled for July 2. In April, after the new date was announced, Bundy finally confessed to Hagmeyer and Nelson what they believed was the full extent of his crimes, including disturbing details of what he did to some of his victims after their deaths. He revealed that he revisited crime scenes to perform sexual acts with his victims' bodies until putrefaction forced him to stop. He also decapitated approximately 12 victims with a hacksaw and kept at least one group of severed heads in his apartment before disposing of them. Bundy was executed in the Ryford electric chair on January 24, 1989 at 7:16 a.m. His last words were directed at his attorney and a Methodist minister, asking them to give his love to his family and friends. Outside the prison, hundreds of people sang, danced, and set off fireworks as the execution was carried out. Bundy's ashes were scattered in an undisclosed location in the Cascade Range of Washington state, in accordance with his will. If you love to hear solved, unsolved and mysterious cases, do subscribe to Crime Time Reports and comment down what do you think about this event and how it would have been prevented.